What's up, team? Sean from Rest to Live here. And I was actually just on a Twitter Spaces with Elon, listening to him explain some of the things that are going on with Tesla, some of his thoughts on Tesla, some of the things he sees coming out of Tesla. If you don't join those, you should. They're free. They're really interesting to listen to. And it's really great to have an opportunity to listen to the way he thinks, the way he responds to questions. I'm not a big Tesla holder by any stretch. I just happen to think it's very interesting to see the way different people think about running their businesses, running their companies, etc. But he did say one thing I thought was really interesting. And what I'm asking for is your take on this. So please drop something in the comments below. He says that in terms of doing a buyback, now we'll put aside the large conversation. I'll cover that in a second. He basically said it was up to him. He would probably feel okay or go to the board with the fact that he'd be okay to do a buyback. His main concern was that they maybe did it too early. The market continues to go down. They could lose opportunities in other areas. Now, I'm not someone who really studies Tesla ad nauseum like a lot of folks out there. So what I was trying to get a feel for is from the folks who do go heavy in Tesla, if you are invested in Tesla, would you like to see them do a buyback? Is that something you'd like to see? Or would you prefer that they keep the cash on the books? Or would you prefer that they reinvest in the company? I think it's a really interesting proposition. I want to share my thoughts here too, because I don't just want this to be simply a question for the audience. I think it's really a dynamic time right now where prices do seem to be really low, but the reality is they're not that low. There's still plenty of room to go down further, certainly, and there's plenty of room to go back up again. So for me, looking at the way that they have their big plans for lithium processing factories, right? They're working on one now in Corpus Christi. Looking at their growth rates, looking at the way they're building their cars, looking at the way they're trying to develop the company to do even more things. I don't know for me personally that I like to see the idea of just doing this simply for the sake of buying back shares. Let me know what you think. I'd be really interested to hear from those who are really in this much longer term, have bigger portfolios than I do of Tesla, and how you're playing it. I think that what we're seeing right now in the aftermarket is that the stock is starting to tick back up again, which means a lot of folks are listening and taking action on it. So with that, this is a really quick video, but I heard that and just thought to myself, I wonder what the general consensus of those who are investing would think about this in the fact that he said this out loud. I do want to share one more comment, though, that I think is really important. He also said, and I can't quote because I didn't write down the transcript, but essentially what he said was he has no plans now of selling for like at least 2 years or something to that effect. Um, Now, the problem is, of course, I think we've probably heard this before. Who's to say if it's really going to happen or not or be true? But he did say that. And I think a part of this was really putting confidence back in the hands of the end users or those shareholders, so to speak. So with that, I'd love your thoughts below. Let me know what you think. And tell me if I'm totally wrong and I misheard of things. I'm okay with that too. So team, thanks so much for watching. Hope you have a good weekend. And yeah, that's a wrap. See you, everybody.